Alright guys, ZFR back here again today, and we are going to be talking about The Walking Dead episode 4, Some Guy. And in this video we're mostly going to be focusing on the King Ezekiel part, since this was really a King Ezekiel episode. But we're really just going to be focusing on him and how this episode is kind of going to help his character development and everything in the future moving forward. So this episode was pretty brutal, especially at the beginning where they kind of did that shot where it panned from King Ezekiel's people all gathering in around him as he was giving that awesome speech to just him being covered with their dead bodies. It really sucked. And you just felt super sorry for the guy. And to make things worse, like all his people came back to life afterwards and chased him for a while as walkers. Guy actually did survive, and he saved them for a second until a savior showed up and pretty much killed his last man and took him captive. And I love how everyone's just commenting on how much this dude looks like a crazy version of iDubbbz. That's absolutely hilarious. But yeah, so this episode obviously had a lot of emotions going, and it really hit the climax at the end when Siva died. And this is something that I saw a lot of people saying really hit them unexpectedly. And yeah, like, I mean, this was like the last straw for Ezekiel. This really broke him, like, and this is going to change his character moving forward because he has gotten his first big taste of defeat, which is something he was extremely afraid of going into this war. He was afraid that something like this would happen, and that's why he was so reluctant to help Rick and the others in the first place. But after the death of Benjamin, he just couldn't, lay down and take what the saviors were dishing out anymore. He couldn't take it. But now, after this happens, I've got a feeling we're going to see him really down, really depressed. He's going to have a hard time getting back into this war to finish things up. I feel like, I'm just saying right now, I feel like we're not going to see too much more help from Ezekiel in the war after this. Either because, one, he doesn't have the will, or two, because, well, most of his soldiers are dead now. So, I mean, how is he going to help in the first place after this? Like, they lost almost half of their people at the kingdom. So, that's a pretty big deal. That's a massive loss. But anyway, yeah, overall, like, I feel like this is probably going to negatively affect, like, just the kingdom's part in the war. A lot of his people probably aren't going to be too psyched to send anyone else out to one of these fights after this either. He's not going to be psyched for it. Of course, he does have Carol and Jerry there to support him no matter what he does. But I have a feeling, I'm just calling it now, I have a feeling this is going to lead to the Carol Ezekiel relationship. I feel like we are going to see that this season. I feel like that we're going to get something with that in the next couple episodes, hopefully before the season finale. But we'll have to wait and see. At this point, I really don't know how this season's going to go. I thought the war was going to last all season, but to be honest, the closer and closer we get, it seems like we've already hit some of the major points of the war. I mean, there's not much left to do except see the saviors, get out of this mess they're in and strike back a couple of times. And after that, like, I mean, the war is going to reach its climax. So I'm guessing maybe it's going to go past the mid-season finale, but I feel like this war is going to be over sometime around episode, I don't know, 9. No, not episode 9. I'm going to go ahead and say maybe somewhere around episode 14, 15ish. I feel like we're going to have one episode at the end of this season that is not about the war, one or two. We'll have to wait and see. But anyway, guys, that's all I really want to talk about for this video. this was just a really quick breakdown of this episode, or at least the most important parts of it. The Rick and Daryl stuff was cool too. How they kind of connected that with last episode with the guy telling them where the guns were going. They managed to catch up. But other than that, like, there wasn't really any other important stuff going on this episode besides the stuff with Ezekiel. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video. Don't forget to leave likes and comments down below, and I will see you guys on the next one. ZFR out, guys.